So half an hour or so, Pilates section, focusing on the lower body. We're going legs, we're going glutes, going to start standing. So find yourself a space. Hopefully you can see what's going on. If I stand far enough back. Cool. Okay, so just find yourself a space. Let's start with hands on the hips, just to kind of keep them out of the way. You want your feet in a parallel position, and just take a moment, maybe take a little rock backwards and forwards, just ground yourself in there, ground yourself over your feet. Take a moment and then lengthen everything up out of the feet, lengthen up through the legs, up through the pelvic floor, gently engage the core, lift the spine up, open the chest, lift the chin, relax the shoulders. We're going to start really simply by shifting the weight forward and up, so the heels come up into a heel rise, control them back down, and then keep sinking down into a knee bend. Just watch that the knees don't knock in here, keeping them nice and parallel. That's our movement pattern, really simple. So up into a heel rise and sink into a knee bend. And then you control the pace. So I'm choosing to go kind of nice and slow and controlled here. But feel free to kind of woohoo, work your way through it, whatever you want to do. And the other thing you want to think about is your posture here. So ribs away, length through the lower back, and trying to maintain that posture from your head to your pelvis, even though you're going up and down. So we're not kind of sinking or changing too much, okay? So nice tall posture, keep that spine nice and stable. You're just gliding straight up and straight down. A few more like that. Let's take another 10 seconds here. Maybe this is your chance to play with that pace a little bit. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold it down in that nice sink position. From here, you're keeping your spine nice and long, but you're just tipping forward slightly, sending your butt out slightly. From here, take all of your weight into one leg. Doesn't matter which leg. I'm going to take it all into my right leg so that I can free my left leg up. I'm just going to tap it back and bring it back in. Tap it back, bring it back in to meet the other foot. So I never quite put the weight back on that foot. It's still all over one leg. So that right leg, whichever leg you're standing on, whichever leg is still, will start to build up a bit of warmth here. Because we're staying in that nice juicy bend right over that leg. Requiring a little bit of balance here, a little bit of control. Those core muscles working to keep everything here nice and aligned, nice and still. If you want a little bit more here, you can add in a lift. So it taps back, keep that leg long and straight, squeeze from your butt to lift the leg up, tap it back down and in. So it taps out, little squeeze, tap back down and in. Tap and squeeze, tap and in. If you want more still, you can add in the arms so they've got something to do. So you can reach and pull in. Reach, squeeze, and then just pull them back in. Just so you're making that movement a little bit bigger now, involving more of the body. That right leg probably really starting to say something. If you want to take it up another level, you can forget the tap in and you can just pulse it up and up. So you're balancing on one leg now and that leg squeezing up from the glute. Let's do another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hold it up for the last one. Little finale here. You're going to keep your balance on one leg. Lift that knee through. Give it a little tap. Then see if you can maintain that balance on that standing leg. Send the arms and the leg back out. Bending on that right leg. Long line. One more like that. So stretching that underneath leg. Finding yourself upright in a little balance. Bring the knee up. Send it away. Nice long line. Good. And then just bring everything in. Bring everything in. Shake out that leg. We're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going diagonal so you can see what's going on, but it doesn't matter where you're facing. So we started as though we've just finished these. So we started in this little knee bend here. From here, you're going to keep your spine nice and long, tip it forward, and then take your weight over your other leg. So I'm doing the left leg now. Shoulders are down, chins in line, and we just start nice and easy breezy with those taps out and in. So here, just getting a sense of length across the front of that hip there and down the whole leg. So length, also getting a sense of control and stability. So this leg doing a lot of control now, all the balance over that leg, maintaining your posture and really isolating that movement. Next option is to add in that little squeezy lift. So right from the glute, right from that butt cheek, squeeze it up off the ground. Shoulders stay down. Face stays relaxed. So you've got a tap out, a squeeze up, tap it back and in. Your next option is you can add in the arms so it becomes a little bit more full body. It's not a huge extra, just a little something extra. Sometimes as well, extending those arms out actually helps with your balance. The more you kind of stretch out and think length, 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 kind of helps with that balance. Next option is to forget the tap in. Just hold it out and pulse up. Keep those shoulders down. Just reminding myself there. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Let's go for a couple of these little balance tests just to finish off. Standing up tall, lift the knee. Probably those hips, those kind of outer legs starting to tell you something now. Stretching out. Keep that balance over that standing leg. You've got it. Last one. Lift the back up tall. Lift the knee. Glide it through effortlessly. Lengthen out. Last little moment here. Woo, and take the weight back onto both feet. Have a little shake out, a little rub, a little roll, whatever you need to do. Okay. Standing section complete. Good work. You're going to bring yourself down. We're going to do a little kneeling section now. So just tip my screen down a little bit so you can see. So coming down onto your knees. Good. And they can go just a little bit wider than would be kind of your parallel position if that's comfortable. Again, let's keep hands on waist. Just keep them out of the way. And we're just going for some kind of kneeling squats here, okay? So if I go diagonal again so you can see. You're going to sink your butt down to your heels. And then really juicy squeeze. Drive those hips forward. Squeeze your glutes here. Sink down. And then it's almost this feeling of tucking that pelvis under. Pushing the hips forward. Good. So nice, big, strong movement for the legs here. For these strong thighs. For the hamstrings and the glutes at the back of the leg. Lifting and pushing you up. And let's keep the breath steady. I like to exhale here. On the effort bit. You've got it. Let's do 10. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Hold it at the top of the movement. Okay. From here, you're going to take one hand all the way down to the floor and you're going to extend the other leg out. So we're in this strange kind of side kneeling position from kind of classical Pilates here. So take some weight into this hand, wrist is right underneath the shoulders there, and then lifting underneath this rib cage. Good. And this top leg is extended. Okay, let's just keep either hand on the waist, or if you want to, you can have the hand up, or if you want to, you can take it behind the head here. It's just kind of somewhere to keep it out of the way. So whatever's comfortable, honestly, for that hand, I'm going to leave it here. From here, you're just going to take 3 different positions with this top leg. We're doing little taps. We're going to tap it slightly forward, bring it back in line. So your head, shoulders, hips, ankle are all in line. And then tap it slightly behind that line and then back in line again. So it's going forward, center, back, center. That's it. That's the movement. Forward, center, back, center. Now again, as much as you can, trying to make this an isolated movement. So nothing up here is doing anything or saying anything. That leg is just quite effortlessly tapping, 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 tapping. If you want to make it more, you add in a little lift. So you tap, lift, tap. Back to the center, tap, lift, tap. Slightly behind, tap, lift, tap. Back to center, lift, tap. One more round. Forward, lift, center, lift. This hip probably starting to tell you something now. Back, lift. One more. Center, hold it lifted. 10 little pulses up, 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 up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Fold the knee in. Have a little moment in the center. So really interesting when we do those kind of side lying things, although that leg is doing the waving around and moving and the tapping and the lifting, it's probably this leg that's feeling it. These kind of supporting outer glutes, doing a lot of work there to keep you stable. So bearing in mind that they've done that, now they have to do the lifting and the moving and the tapping and everything. So quite often feeling more fatigued on the second side, just saying. Okay, so we're starting kneeling. Take the other hand down to the other side. Let me shimmy over this way a little bit so I've got room. And extending that top leg out. Hand wherever it's comfortable. Hip up behind the head. Lifting underneath here. Tucking these ribs away. Keeping everything in line. So starting with those taps. Forward, side, slightly behind the center line, and back. You've got that pattern now. Find your flow. Find your rhythm here. Find your pace, get into your groove. Tap, little tap, little tap. You've got it. Keep going. Couple more rounds like that, then we can add in that lift. So we're going forward, lift, down, side, lift, down, back. Little lift. It's not huge. It's enough. And again, forward, lift. Side, lift, back, lift, and side. Let's do one more circuit. Coming to the front, and side, and back. Gear yourself up. We're going for those 10 little pulses at the side. So back into your first position. Lift that leg. Little pulses. Up, 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 up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold that leg in. Good. Relax. Give the hips a little roll, a shake, a little stretch, whatever you need to do. Cool. Okay. Very quickly flipping back over onto that first side before we move on. One more thing here. I thought it was mean to add it on when that leg's fatigued. So this time, hand definitely up. So you're kind of in a star position. You're going to pick the knee up. So you're going to bend at the knee, bend at the elbow, tap them together, and then send them out. So you're bending, tap the knee to the elbow, and then you're going nice long line. Tap the foot back down, arms reaching up on the diagonal. Let's do this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either another 10-second round exactly like that, or you can take out the tap to the floor and you can keep that leg up a little bit like this. So we're doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Same on the other side. 2 little rounds like that. So tip yourself over onto your hand, extend that leg, starting with that arm up. You're going to tap your elbow to your knee. Tap and extend out to a nice long diagonal line. Enjoy that stretch. Good. So just 10 here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either the same again or lifting the leg in the air so it never makes contact with the floor. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm going to squeeze one more in there and then bring everything down. Good. Okay. Hopefully we're all feeling good. Okay, so we're going to move direction now. We're going to move position and we're going to go lying. We're going to go semi-supine, aka lying down on the floor on your back, which is a good place to be. If I go kind of diagonal, hopefully that's the best kind of place that you can see what's going on. Maybe this side on. Okay, so semi-supine is lying down on your back. You've got your knees folded in. We're going to go for some bridges. So either glute bridges, hips lift, spine curls, can be called a few different things. Movement is more or less the same. So starting here, just give yourself a moment just to let your back, especially your upper back, those shoulders kind of relax into the floor. Let the front of that chest open up. Should feel really delicious. So often we're curled over. Just enjoy that little moment. Take the hands down on the floor next to you. I've got my palms down. You might even want to feel a little bit of pressure into those as we get into some of these movements. Soles of the feet on the floor, parallel. Might want to scooch those heels in a little bit closer to your butt here. Okay, let's get going with some movement. So curving the spine, tucking the bottom under, rolling up. Really squeezing the glutes under here, sending those knees long and away, and just watch that those knees don't want to drop out to the sides. Keep them squeezing together, rolling that spine back down. And again, lifting up and rolling down. Let's keep it really simple to begin with, keeping these shoulders relaxed, focusing on tucking that bottom under, squeezing, lengthening the knees away. Rolling that spine up and down. Keep the breath nice and steady. You find your breath pattern here, depending on your pace. I like to. And then exhale down. You find your groove. You find your pattern for this particular movement. You can take maybe 3 more like this. And we're going to hold it at the top for a little bit, okay? Just as a pre-warning. 3. 2 more, or thereabouts, depending on your pace. And go for 1 more and hold it at the top. Here we go, holding it up. So just take a second whilst you're up there, just to check in. Switch those glutes on, give that butt a squeeze, pressing through the feet, tucking under, keep the ribs in line, send the knees away, squeeze the knees together if they've dropped out to the side. Okay, from here, take your attention to your right foot. And I want you to lift that heel up and then press it down. All the time, keeping your hip bones level. You can even take your hands onto your hip bones, your fingertips onto your hip bones if it helps to feel what they're doing. Keep that butt squeezing underneath. Keep those hips lifted high, just lifting that heel up and down. If you want more, you can take more of a movement into this leg, shift more of the weight into the other leg, and lift the whole leg up into a little knee fold position and down and up and down. Probably really starting to feel something now. Last few moments here. Last option, you can extend this leg so you can lift it up and extend it, and you can lower the straight leg so it's in line with your other thigh. Lift it up. Keep those hips lifted. Keep lifting under there. Last 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whichever version you're at, lower your leg or your heel and bring the hips all the way down. Maybe take a little rock side to side just to ease out any tension that's cracked in, or hug the knees in. And we've got the other leg to do. Then when you're ready, the soles of the feet back down. Back comes back down. See what I mean about these arms? These arms might come into play a little bit just to support you if you're going for that one-legged version. Okay, deep breath in. Here we go. Exhale. Scoop the belly. Tuck the pelvis. Roll up. Press those hips high. Keep those hip bones level. Get yourself set up. Starting with just the heel lift.
just the heel lift. Probably you can feel that side of your glute, that butt cheek going, yeah, I've just done all the work. Keeping those hip bones level. Keeping your breath nice and steady now. Don't let those hips start to drop. Keep them lifted. Don't let those knees start to sway. Keep them in and parallel. You can go into that full knee lift if you want a little bit more juice here. So just lifting it up, placing it back down onto the floor. Keep the shoulders relaxed. She says to herself, I could feel my shoulders going. Get a little bit of pressure into the arms if that helps. Don't let that hip drop on the side that your leg's moving. If you want more here, you can go full leg extension. Drop it down so it's parallel or in line, I should say, with the other leg. And bring it back up. Nice and slow and controlled. Keep working, keep lifting, keep squeezing. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, we're feeling it on this side. 3, 2, last second. Bring whatever's up back down. And then roll everything back down. Bring the spine down. And again, little moment of a spine twist if that feels good to release. Or a little hug of the knees if that feels good to release. Nice. Okay. Really getting into some glute work there. We're going to stay in this position just for a minute. We're going to extend both legs out. So enjoy that moment. We're going into some leg circles. Okay. Which are legs, but really good for core control, for all these supporting muscles of the torso. I like to take arms a little bit wider into a V here. Exhale. Scoop the belly and the waistline in. Get yourself nice and pulled in and controlled. And then pop one leg up. So it's a knee fold position, but I'm going a little bit more extended. So I'm not quite here. I'm a little bit more extended. From here, I'm going to cross the leg over. Send it down, out to the side and back up. So I'm drawing a circle with my thigh bone. It's like it's stirring around. Now you can take these in slow or as quick so you feel like you can keep everything controlled. Same applies to the sides of the circle. Teeny tiny micro circle or really big wide circle. Whatever you feel like you can do whilst maintaining the control. When I say control, I mean so that your leg isn't pulling your torso around and rocking it from side to side. If you want more, fully extend that leg. So maybe a little bit of a hamstring stretch here as well. A little bit of a longer lever to play with now. We're just going one direction today. So a little bit of strength work, maybe into the thigh and the hip flexor here. And a lot of core stability. Cool, hold it there. If you haven't extended it yet, do so now. I'm just going to take a little hamstring stretch just for a couple of breaths. Seeing as it's up there anyway, we might as well give it a little moment. And you don't have to keep this still. You can kind of make it a little bit kind of fluid, a little bit dynamic. You can kind of move it, sway it forwards and backwards. You can kind of sway it side to side. You can flex and extend the foot. Don't feel like just because it's a stretch, you have to hold it terribly still. A little bit of movement can be really nice and really effective too. All right, fold that leg in. Send it back down to earth. We're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So take your time to set up. Get everything nice and stable. Again, thinking about those hip bones, keeping them steady, keeping them level, keeping the rib cage down. Shoulder blades equally connected to the floor. And then pop that leg up into the air. Again, I'm going slightly more extended than that knee fold position. And I'm starting with a crossover, away, out to the side. That's the hard bit. and then back up to the center. So just taking a few circles here, just to feel into that movement, feel if anything's different on that side. Keeping the rib cage nice and relaxed. Breathing nice and steady. Then if you want to go for that full leg circle, oh, she's feeling tight on the left side today. Want to go for that full leg circle. Now's your moment. Extend behind the leg. Graceful, fluid. You dictate the size of the circle, you dictate the pace, but try and get into kind of that rhythm. Try and get into some kind of fluidity with it here. Let's take another couple here. My left leg's not loving this today, so I'm going to spend an extra second here. All right. And then again, seeing as we're up there, you might as well take a little hamstring stretch. Oh, on this side. I'll say it again. Whatever feels good for your body. We don't want to kind of over-prescribe the stretching here. It will be a more effective stretch if there's length and like straightness behind the leg. So you want to think of connecting the strong pelvis down into the floor and sending the other leg up. So it's like two-way pull. If you're kind of bent here, it might be closer, but it's not stretching. It's better to be a little bit further away, straight behind the knee if you could do that. And then you can start to tease it forward. Keep the breath nice and steady. A little bit of movement into that stretch if that feels good. And then fold that leg in and bring it all the way down. Good. All right, we're just going to finish up the little kind of glute stretch, sitting. So I'm going to start with the full body stretch. Just because it's nice, why not? Lift the hands up to the ceiling. Inhale, and then as you breathe out, reach those fingertips forward, pull yourself up through a roll up, back to sitting, back to the land of living. Give those legs a little shake out. Okay, from this sitting position, I'm just going to do the standard glute stretch, everyone knows, but I quite like it in this seated position. I feel it gets a bit juicier. So same as ever, everyone's done it a million times. Cross one ankle over the opposite knee. From there, I like to just bring the other leg in. And then as long as you're kind of pressing this leg out, figure of four shape, I find that the more you can kind of shimmy your body in towards your thighs, the deeper, juicier that stretch is on that glute and that hip. And again, same as the hamstring stretch, don't feel like you have to hold it terribly, terribly still. Sometimes a little sway, a little rock, a little ease in and out of it can feel real nice. Just a few breaths here, little sway, little rock and roll, whatever you need to do. Good. And then ease it out. Feel free to swap sides. So ankle over knee. I always find with stretch, oh, see, there we go. I always find with stretches as well, it's a really nice opportunity just to tap into a bit of body awareness, a bit of proprioception, so we can take our minds away from the fact that we're like, oh, I have to be in this position. I'm feeling that stretch. Maybe it's just an opportunity to do a little body scan, like, is that feeling different on one side to the other side? Where's the tightness? Where does it feel easy? Where can I kind of more readily get into the position? A nice little moment just to build, just to kind of tap into the body, build a little bit of that self-awareness. They're one of the easier things often to feel that difference from side to side, which is why I went into this side and I was like, oh, yeah, tighter on that side. Maybe there aren't many differences, and that's cool too. But just building that little awareness muscle can feel real good. Cool. All right, you guys, that's about half an hour of lower body, legs, and glutes focused Pilates work. So thank you very, very much for joining. Shall we just close with a little breath, just because it's nice to do? So I'm just going to sit here wherever is comfortable, take a nice deep breath in
reach up, just stretch everything, look to the sky, and then exhale, just let everything settle, let all of that good work settle into your body. Thank you so much for joining me. For you guys that are core members, I will upload the recording onto the website for you to catch up on. And otherwise, I'll be here twice a week doing something similar, and I'll always upload or send out that little kind of month timetable with all the different themes, so you can tap into whether you want to do the leg one or the relaxing one or the shoulder one or whatever. So yeah, thank you so much. How are you